So I spent the last couple days trying to figure out which tactical rifle to use in Warzone after the recent update to the DMR and Type 63. I started by using the DMR since it was the favorite or most hated weapon for many players before it was nerfed twice, and while it did have minimal recoil, a high fire rate, and crazy multipliers across the board, Raven software has brought it down to the point where everyone has turned into professional hitmen while using the silenced Kar 98K, which is by far one of, if not the best weapon in the game. But back to the DMR, where it stands right now, it just doesn't deal enough damage and it has too much bounce to justify using it over a potential one-and-done shot with a sniper, especially if someone is using a head glitch or mounting their weapon behind cover at longer distances. And while it does have an advantage over the M16 when it comes to range, the DMR is outmatched when it comes to close to mid-range combat. The M16 has always been a personal favorite of mine, going back all the way to the beginning of the Modern Warfare franchise with COD 4. And while it's not anywhere close to where it was in its glory days, it can still be deadly with the potential to eliminate a target in 2 well-placed bursts. However, like many of the guns from Cold War, the M16 suffers from mediocre optics that aren't ideal for Warzone, plus it has a lot of vertical recoil that can make hitting consistent shots from a distance quite the challenge. Now before we get to the last rifle, the Type 63 is actually still pretty good. While it does have a slower fire rate than the DMR, it makes up for it by having a greater damage output, mobility, and feels a lot more accurate than the M16. And I know some of you guys enjoy videos that go into detail on weapon stats and analytics, but most of the time that information is just filler and doesn't translate well to how the gun actually performs in the match. Which is why I always test out the guns myself by actually playing Warzone, and that's how the AUG comes out on top as the best all-around tactical rifle. And while it may not outperform the damage from the M16, the fire rate of the DMR, or the accuracy of the Type 63, the AUG performs damn well in all these categories, on top of having the best handling and mobility, which makes it a great choice for anyone who prefers a slightly more run-and-gun playstyle. The only real drawback, which is in line with the other Cold War rifles, is that it's difficult to face enemies at longer distances, but for any other situation, I highly recommend trying out the AUG.